In today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up an email synchronization so that you can bring in emails from an Exchange mailbox into a SharePoint list. So I've come into the NITRO Studio tool and I'm going to scroll down to the email sync tool. Now you'll notice that I am in the site IT Premium. This happens to be my SharePoint site, and if I hover over that, you'll see down in the lower left hand side the URL of where I'm coming from for that site. So it'll take me directly back to the site I'm coming from. I can go to email sync here. I'm going to bring up the email sync interface, which I've already brought up over here. And you'll see that I have one setting set up, but we're going to ignore that for now. I'm going to create a new setting. So you click the new setting link in the upper right, and you define which list you want the emails to go into. So in this case, I'm going to use the tickets to list, which I've been using for my demos. The from address is going to go into requester email. The subject can go into title, and the body can go into description. These are the only three emails that are required, or only three fields that are required. You could also bring over the importance if you had a priority field. You could also have the CC recipients. Let's say I already have the alternate email field, so I'll go ahead and use that. You could also put the receive date as the due date, although that I'm not sure that makes sense in this scenario, but you can populate that field of a date field in the list. You can also copy attachments from the email into the SharePoint list item. Now, the next step, after you get your settings enabled on the field mapping section, is to go down to the connection settings. So we're going to choose a user account. In this case, I'm going to use my james.restivo@crocanyon.com account. I'm going to type in a password, which I've already saved. So I'm just going to copy and paste that password in. And then you can enter the Exchange web service URL credentials if you wanted to use the web service as well. You notice that you also have options for filtering out certain emails. So you could say only convert items that have a certain subject line. You can only have certain email addresses, so you can block certain addresses from creating SharePoint list items, or you could specifically allow a certain domain, and then you have an option to if all the conditions are met, then the email gets processed. If any of the conditions are met, then the email gets processed. So a couple different options there. You notice that once you save the settings, it's going to take about 10 to 20 minutes for those settings to take effect. So we're going to go ahead and hit save. Now with that activated, any emails that will hit this jamesrestivo@crocanyon.com email address will go to this tickets to SharePoint list.